Welcome, 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 welcome once again. The boys are back
Yeah, we're
after a
back.
draw to Brentford. I don't know if it's a painful draw, but it feels like it was 2 point dropped more than a point gain. We're going to talk
Yeah,
about all these things. I am PT, and in the studio today with me is
Baba
Babadi.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Babadi, how are you feeling this morning as an Arsenal fan?
Well, better off. I had to sleep over it. Yesterday I was seriously annoyed, but I had to sleep over it because I had to look back. As of November, where we were the same point with City. December it was just 2 points ahead. In January it was like 4 points before it went up a little and it came back to 4 points. So if somebody will have asked me that maybe then, that was in October, as in as of February of this year, you are going to be 4 points ahead of City. Are you going to take that? I'll be definitely happy to take that. But in the context of the game yesterday, it was like a 2 point loss. But I now take a look back at Brentford, their games. I had to do a review of all their games. Going to Brentford is not an easy task for any team in the Premier League. So we should stop underestimating any team in the Premier League, and we should not assume that by the end of this game, you might on paper you can be a favorite, but it's not always like that when you get to the other teams' home. That's my
Yeah,
conclusion. Yeah,
I
and that gives
completely.
me a kind of consolation going forward. Yeah,
Yeah. I like the way you look at it. I kind of share part of the sentiment, even though I disagree that for me it looks like a point game for us in our season than 2 point drop. And I'll tell you why. Arsenal in the past seasons, games like this, we normally will lose them.
yeah,
When the pressure is that much, we don't normally get points from games like this in the past. I'm not trying to make excuse for the players, but we can say that Brentford are a small side. They are number 7 on the team on the table right now. They went to Newcastle away, they beat them. They went to Aston Villa, played Aston Villa with 10 men,
yeah,
and they still beat Aston Villa. They scored while they were 10 men. It wasn't like they scored their goal, before they were down to 10 men. No, they actually
mhm,
scored while they were 10 men. These guys from set pieces, they have tall players, they have strong players, they have players that can match you physically. So for us to gain a point from that game, one of the teams in the top 7 of the league, for me, it's a point game. I mean, when I really, last night I was feeling like it was a 2 point loss, but when I really, really reflected on it, I feel like this is a point game, which might be massive when
yeah,
we go into the rest of the season.
yeah. And they're still going to meet Man City at home, even though they're going to their home. But with the kind of players they have, with that kind of physicality, it might still be a tough match for Man City too. Because physically, Man City are not that strong. Technically, they might be good, but physically, they are not that strong.
Yeah.
So anybody that can match Man City physically, it's most likely for them to beat them. Well, I just want us to the fans generally they just have to kind of calm down a little. Yeah, the pressure they themselves are even putting on themselves and the players. That's Arsenal fans. It's getting too much. They have to support their team when things are down. It's not easy for these guys to play, even though they are earning a lot of money, but going to the field 3 times a week in that cold weather, it's a lot. And you can see it affecting so many other teams in the Premiership. It is not just us. So for somebody to be at the top of the league at this time, you have to give kudos to the boys. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
completely agree.
that doesn't stop us from the fact of not saying at least one or two things that okay they didn't do the match was a little bit I don't know, maybe sometimes when you are playing some kind of opponent, no matter how good you are, the opponent sometimes determines the way the game is going to go in
Yeah.
how the come out. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Brentford is one of those tough games because they are very good on the counter attack because they have a Thiago that can beat your player one-on-one. The guy is quick, is strong, is fast, is also technically sound. You know, he could have scored like 3 goals from yesterday. I
Yeah.
know, yes, Raya made a mistake in throwing the ball to their player. But he also saved a very, very fantastic, brilliant header from Thiago. And Mosquera also made a mistake and he also recovered from his own mistake. And the third time, it was a long ball that was thrown to Thiago again, that he was one-on-one with Raya and he blasted the ball over the net. So that is not an easy team to play against. There's a reason why Thiago has scored, is the second highest goal scorer in the league this season. They score a lot of goals from set pieces and they don't concede from set pieces. They are the second best team in the league this season when it comes to, conceding from set pieces. So, and that's one of our strengths. So they use our tactics against us yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it.
So we had a taste of our own poison.
I saw it. I saw that, and that's why sometimes it pisses me off. Sometimes when you hear the some other clubs complaining about our set pieces, and if you know it's a very good way of scoring, why don't you try it? And Brentford, they did a very good job yesterday. I saw exactly the way our players used to be when we have set pieces. How do we used to surround the defenders? How we used to surround the goalkeepers to make, it was just like us yesterday. So I was like, no, we've met our match yesterday. It was, but we're so happy that it was a draw.
Yeah.
Although it could have gone either ways.
Yeah.
If you look
we had 2 good chances we had one chance to make it 2-0 when Rice passed the ball to Gyökeres. I don't know why Rice decided to do that. Maybe he felt that Gyökeres was in a better position to score, which is true. But at that time, from an open space like that, please strike the ball as hard as you can. You can strike the ball hard. But I think it's the thing will improve, a little bit of nerves here and there is not really. City also had nerves, when we were leading them, when they were under pressure. So, it depends on how good the boys handle the pressure going forward. The thing I said in a previous post I made was that Arsenal needs to block off the noise.
Yeah.
The noise. The players need to block off the noise from the fans.
Yeah.
But the fans also need to block off the noise from rival fans.
Exactly.
Don't let them get into your head.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to let them get into your head because the moment they get into your head, you are going to transfer that fear and anxiety to the players when you come to the stadium. We don't want nervousness around the stadium. We want the players to be able to play with freedom, with assurance, with confidence that they have the backing of the fan. This is what I said in my previous post, and I hope that people will really take it as serious.
Yeah. I hope so.
All right. So I want us to also, can we afford any other slip up before the game against City, considering that we have 2 tough matches? Every match in the Premier League is tough, no doubt. But we have 2 specific tough matches that on paper, we might not be able to, say with all assurance that we are going to win. The game against Tottenham away, especially now that they have sacked Thomas Frank, they are going to have a new manager. You know the thing about new manager bounce, United and Chelsea are good examples.
Yeah, I saw it. I think they already got someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
in the temporary,
I think they're still. Yeah.
So that's number 1. Then we also have a second game against Chelsea that is at home. Chelsea this season, we have played them how many times now? 3 times. We won them twice, and then we drew them 1 time in their stadium. That is not going to be an easy match. 2 games that Arsenal must win. Can we afford to drop any other point before we meet City?
Yeah, we can't say we're still not going to drop point. We're definitely going to drop point before the end of the season. And I don't see Man City to winning all their matches.
On paper,
we can't afford. Huh?
On paper, Manchester
Yeah,
City games are all winnable games on paper. They are
on
playing
paper,
all the teams
yeah,
in the lower half of the table.
I know. But most of the teams in lower, on the lower part of the table, they're all of them are still fighting for to avoid the relegation. So either way, it's still going to be a very tough match.
Yeah.
Playing against Tottenham at home, I'm very sure their bones will be kind of a little bit strong, but I have a feeling that we're going to scale through. They're going to Tottenham at home. I have my a little bit of concern against Chelsea. It depends on how they play. I'm looking at that. That match can come out as a draw, but we have to be very, very careful if we want to win. And one thing I just noticed about Arteta generally is that he's just too cautious when he's
Yeah.
playing games. He's too cautious,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have to allow these players to take risk. That pass that Rice was meant to, Rice decided to pass to Gyökeres yesterday. You could as well take a shot at that point in time. It doesn't matter. Just take a shot, let the ball ping pong around. Somebody else can catch it and it be good. And if it doesn't go, fine. It's at least you try to make the attempt. But it still boils down to Arteta generally. He needs to put confidence in this guy that, man, you guys, you have to just be yourself when you're on the field. Even
Yeah.
though we have some kind of instruction guideline on how you want to do, but be yourself when
Yeah.
you're on the field. Yeah. Anything that
I
comes to
think
your
I
mind,
agree.
just do it. Yeah.
I agree with you on the Arsenal. Sometimes we play with an handbrake, which almost everybody has said. But I don't want to put yesterday's situation on Arteta because
No.
one, it started the game with Eze. Eze is not supposed to be one of those players that is not, but Eze didn't really play well yesterday. He brought in Odegaard and Declan Rice not, trying to pass the ball to Gyökeres. I don't want to put that on Arteta. I think a
Yeah.
player, with the experience of Declan Rice should be striking the ball as hard as possible from that position, So I think yesterday's honestly, I cannot really fault Arteta. Number one, we are missing two key players that could have given us that, height advantage, strength advantage, technical advantage in Havertz and Merino. So you are left with Eze and Odegaard just coming back from injury. So it was a lot of limitation. So I don't
Yeah.
really want to put too much of that on Arteta, honestly. But nevertheless, it was a great game of football by
Yeah.
every standard. Yeah. Yeah.
Then I also want to say, concerning Easy, I feel there's a little bit pressure from Arteta on Easy. I think sometimes if you don't allow a player to gain confidence, to have his own confidence in playing, Easy is a very good player. But the very first time he made that mistake that he made, in the match after the match of Tottenham, since that time, Arteta have not really been using him. He's been on the bench for a while. If not that Odegaard is not available, Kevat is not available, I'm very sure Eze would have been on the bench.
Yeah.
So when you don't put that confidence in a player to come and play, you don't use them. Sometimes there are some players that, like yesterday, what's his name? Timber was not really doing so much well. You can just I brought in Ben White yesterday in his start. Just let him relax. Sometimes those guys they need a little bit of sit on the bench, let the other player please, and just let them have that confidence at least. At least I'll get to have my own game time, play time on the field. So we just have to just cool down on these guys. Our guys, in fact, Arsenal fans are the noisiest when it comes to bantering our own players. That's what I say.
So, how moving forward, I think we can start wrapping up now.
Yeah,
Kindly like and subscribe to the channel, by the way. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you guys for, doing
yeah.
that. I
Thank
wanted to,
you.
on the final note, I want to ask, what does Arsenal need to do to have more points than City or any other team at the end of the season to
They
claim the
should just
title?
try and win all their games.
Okay.
They should just try and win all their games. Or if you win all your games, then you're already you're getting a cup. You don't have any other thing. Just try and win all your games. Yeah.
Yeah,
And by the time you go to the 80th, at least the worst result you should pick up from there should be a draw, and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree. Have a mindset. I wrote down 5 things. And one of them is we need to have that strong killer instinct.
Uh-huh.
We need to be ruthless. Sometimes our boys are not ruthless enough. Martinelli has missed 2 clear chances now to win us games. We need to be more ruthless in front of goal. Rice also, yesterday, we need to be more ruthless. Number 2 is that we need to increase the tempo of our game. Sometimes we play too slow.
Yeah.
We push the ball, we push side, and all that,
Yeah,
and
it's very
we
slow.
need to increase the tempo of our game.
Mhm.
Number 3 is that we need to start dominating teams that we are better than in the middle. Sometimes we seek possession of some games, like yesterday's game. We kind of like give possession back. The Aston Villa game, we gave them possession back and all that. And a few games, even the Manchester United game, Bruno and Fernandes and what's his name, Menu, they started controlling things in the middle and all that. And we need to take possession of the midfield because we have more technically gifted players.
Yeah.
And then the fans
You have to create that fear factor.
Yes.
You know, when the opponent knows that, when they see that fear factor, when they see some players that fear factor is there,
yeah,
they will be more cautious to come out.
Exactly.
You know, that's just it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these are some of the things that I think will really help us. I mean, thank you guys for watching once again. We'll be back again to talk about other games, not only Arsenal, but thank you for watching.
Thank you.